Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar or give me a thumbs up if you like the content, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or else you can look me up at my website, which is www.garethcahoon.co.uk. Or if you like the ministry and would like to support the work that I do, you can do so through PayPal, garethcahoon3@gmail.com. This one's about the man himself again. Why Mamdani's executive order is concerning for Israel. On January 1st, 2026, Zoran Mamdani was inaugurated as the first Muslim mayor of New York City. Yes, that's right, folks. New York City, the place where the Twin Towers fell. On his very first day in office, he took quick executive action that significantly shifted the city's policy on two issues that directly impact the Jewish community in that state. Couching it as a way to provide an administrative fresh start. In actuality, the executive order dismantled two significant pro-Israel policies. To understand the implications of the move, let's consider two things the executive order did and why Mamdani's act could be determined be detrimental to Jewish communities, not just in New York but across the United States. One, he nullified the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance Association working definition of anti-Semitism. Mamdani's executive order annulled the state's previous order that had officially adopted the IHRA's working definition of anti-Semitism. The IHRA, or the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, is an intergovernmental organisation mandated to focus on Holocaust-related issues. To address the problem of rising anti-Semitism, IHRA constructed this core working definition of what it is. Anti-Semitism is a certain perception of Jews which may be expressed as hatred towards Jews. Rhetorical and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism are directed towards the Jews or non-Jewish individuals and or their property, toward Jewish community, institutions and religious facilities. Upward of 40 governments, including the United States and more than 1,200 entities worldwide, have adopted the definition of anti-Semitism. Though it is not intended to be a legal code, it is a vital tool to help educate on anti-Jewish bias, assesses claims of anti-Semitism, assists in identifying whether a crime might also be categorised as a hate crime targeting Jews, and aid in determining the impact of certain behaviours. However, Mamdani argues that the IRHA definition can blur legitimate criticism of the Israeli government, with anti-Semitism limiting political discourse. His argument misinterprets the purpose of the IHRA definition, which was designed precisely to identify anti-Semitic rhetoric, including instances where criticism of Israel relies on anti-Semitic symbols or tropes. The 11 examples within the full definition illustrate how anti-Semitism can manifest when anti-Semitic symbols or tropes against the Jewish people are used in the context of criticising the Jewish state of Israel. That crosses the line into anti-Semitism. Not surprisingly, pro-Israel organisations and several New York City Council members quickly condemned the revocations, viewing them as a dangerous shift that could embolden bad actors without the IHRA definition changes or higher Not that New York will only recognize classic anti Semitism like swastikas, which could send a silent signal of permission to use anti Semitic rhetoric about the Jewish state and potentially lead to increasing harassment or more hostile protests across the city. Two, it removed anti-BDS resolution. Mamdani's executive order also removed regulations that restricted BDS, which is boycott, divestment, and sanctions against Israel. The Palestinian led BDS movement seeks to exert international economic and political pressure on Israel. The New York mayor believes anti BDS laws are a type of governmental overreach that violates the First Amendment and sees their revocation as a step towards protecting free speech. In actuality, BDS is a form of economic pressure aimed at isolating the Jewish state through boycotts, investments from Israeli businesses, and sanctions. It is often connected with anti Semitic incidents, particularly on college campuses, where Jewish students are often targeted for the actions of the Israeli government. Revoking New York's anti BDS regulations, removal removes guardrails that prevent city agencies from divesting from Israel, which could disproportionately affect local business with ties to Israel. Worse, it could cause discrimination against Jewish citizens of New York, as well as isolate our long-standing US ally in the Middle East, opening the door to anti-Semitism. Mamdani's motivation for these actions is to remove any restriction on anti-Israel expressions and policies due to his own position critical of Israel and in support of Palestinian causes. Though not all criticism of Israel policy is anti-Semitic, the line is crossed when such criticism denies Israel's right to exist, uses anti-Semitic rhetoric, or applies double standards not expected on any other nation. This demonetization of Israel is in fact a modern form of the world's longest hatred, anti-Semitism. Conclusion: Mamdani's actions withdraw particular tools and signals that help establishments identify and respond to modern day anti Semitism, lowering the threshold for anti Semitic rhetoric and allowing it to flourish. Ultimately, Mamdani's executive orders should ignite Christians' concern for the physical safety of the Jewish community, not just in New York but across the United States, and spark a renewed focus on prayer for their protection and advocacy against dangerous movements influencing those like the Mamdani administration. This is just one more way the socialist, anti-Semitic, lefty losing it, that is, Soran Mamdani, should never have been elected to be the mayor of any country, never mind the great United States of America. And New York, you should be ashamed of yourselves for voting in a man who has these tendencies and is also a Muslim, especially after what you witnessed on in the Twin Towers falling. You should have at least thought, what is this man's ideals and why are we voting for him? Shalom, Maranatha, and Hallelujah.